We'll fix that. All right, J.Tone interview. Take 1.
All right, y'all.
So I was about to ask where my phone was at.
You showed up, didn't you?
Yeah, ask me where I am. I say to myself.
Back here once again. Can't really say once again, but we back. Finna get out this interview or whatever, you know. You got your boy right here, J.Tone. J.Tone Music in the building, you know. My boy over here, Jay, recording. And you got your manager back here in the back. Alright, man. So, first off, starting off, you know what I'm saying, with the project or whatever. 4 songs, 12 minutes. Like, what were you trying to, like, get across with, you know what I'm saying, with these 4 songs?
That's an establishment of my artistry. That's first off. Leading up, following like my single that I released, Untitled, in 2018, doing a performance for that song, I wanted to do something that was going to initiate myself, pretty much give people something that like, okay, this is what he can do musically. And I feel like that project, you know what I'm saying, my aim was to, you know, initiate myself, coming behind myself in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like giving people one thing and then afterwards
giving people like a little taste
of what I can do before J.Tone really branches off and does something of my own, you know what I'm saying? Because this was like a collaborative project with me and producer Too Cold Nate.
Yeah, speaking of that relationship, like how did y'all manage to come together? Because like from the way that the album sounds and like the way the beats, it's a vibe. It's a real vibe. And I feel like y'all got some real chemistry going on. Like are y'all like cool or something before this? Like
definitely. I know Nate since high school. We didn't go to the same high school, but we met in high school through a mutual friend. And after high school, we went to the same college.
Right.
Both in the same music department. I did not know throughout the span of time we would 2019 drop a project together. Like I said, everything transpired after I did a performance for my song Untitled. The day after that, Nate hit me like, yo, let's work. The very next day after that performance, because he was there for it. And I took on that offer as soon as it was thrown at me. And ever since, we've known each other for a long time, but the process of making the album really bonded a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because it went from friendship to partnership to brothership type thing.
Gotcha.
And that whole album just initiated us on a whole different level of working together, which made us, you know, very like correspond with our talents. And I feel like that's why we were able to like build like chemistry up so that the project can have a vibe, you know what I'm saying, just feeding off of each other's energy.
All right. So the title of the project, Who I Am.
Where I Am.
Yeah, where I'm sorry. Where I am.
No problem. Where I Am, yeah.
Go into like the meaning of it, like what does it mean to you?
It's really it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Right. Where I am. That's as authentic as it gets.
Right.
I remember before I even did a studio session, I had like a team and I would like call meetings throughout, you know what I'm saying, working on this project. But before I even got that deep into it, I called a meeting and I was just like, yo, I want to make something that really like, just like describes this state, you know what I'm saying, of my current life, my current mindset, my current ambition, my current passion that I have right now. I want to put it into music. Because for some reason at that point in my life, it was like the most important thing to me, where I was.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying, I feel like as an artist, I just use my life to convert into music. Where I was at that point in time, we're working on that, you know what I'm saying, good, bad, ugly, things that I would probably be ashamed about, things that I was confident about, high and up about. And for some reason, just putting that into music was just so vital for me to do at the time.
So it's like, so in a sense, you kind of treat your music like a diary.
Pretty perfect. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I would say that and like a self-reflection.
Right, okay. So recording this project, I know it probably came with like a few trials or whatever.
Definitely.
Can you give us like some insight, like what was going on, like what was this?
Like it was the most challenging time for me, mentally and emotionally. That's why it's like deeper than music.
Right.
Let me see. Following up, well, throughout this whole process, I know I went through my first car wreck. That took a toll on me. Relationship, like that was like a new.
I was saying, I see you talk about that in the album too.
Yeah, I had to put it in there.
You talk about that in the album too.
I talk a lot about like my newfound relationship. My mom, like the relationship with my mom, just how that, like me being like a grown man now, turning 23.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and how things change that come with time and relationships with your people, relationships with other people that you meet. That you know what I'm saying, I put that into it because like I said, I really never been into a space of socializing.
Right.
So with music comes people. And I think I was in a point, you know what I'm saying, with making this album, I met the most people I ever met. That was crazy for me too. So dealing with that,
quick question. Was it like a coming out of a shell type moment?
Most definitely. I experienced my most out of shell state, you know what I'm saying? And I really had to be that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As an artist. You can't get nowhere being quiet. Can't get nowhere being, you know what I'm saying, silent. So I really had to find like that confidence in myself. Not even in myself, but to put it into J.Tone in order for me to like exploit, you know what I'm saying, my artistry.
Right.
Yeah, man. And like I said, it wasn't an easy process. You know what I'm saying? It was probably one of the hardest processes I've ever had to deal with in my life. It was like challenging. You know what I'm saying? I really felt like it was like a test of time to see really how faithful I was gonna be toward the project. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man.
Yeah.
We all human.
Yeah, definitely. But it made me appreciate even more. It made me appreciate the process even more, going through so many different things that I, you know what I'm saying, it really would be a lot to even speak about. But one thing that I'm proud to say was everything motivated and inspired me to put into the music even more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I took every challenge and spoke about it on my album. And to some degree. You know what I'm saying? Even my spiritual challenges.
Yeah, I heard talking about that too.
Yeah, everything. Put it into the music, man. It had to. Because it's where I was.
Yeah, I
so
think
it's like where I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, so inspirations. Like, I don't know. Favorite artist?
Travis. Yes. Off the rip.
Okay.
But I ventured off, especially on this album, I opened myself up to a lot of different stuff because I'm such a Travis Scott fan, and to the point where it's like, okay, let me not be so intact with this one genre or particular type of music or sound.
Hey man, cause like the thing about it, I like what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I heard, and I can tell, you know what I'm saying, like the inspiration is there.
Yeah.
And I see, I was listening to it, man. And I was like, dude, like I'm getting like I love the vibes from it, and I kind of got that whole kind of Astro World type vibe from it. And then I like how you deviated too, and you kind of like separated yourself and did your own thing.
Right.
To show like, I guess to show versatility.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Yeah, I mean, I'm just naturally, and this is not to make myself seem like I'm super deep, anything like that. I'm just a naturally like complex person when it comes to music. I like different music. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like right now where I am is finding who I am in music. What do I like? Right. What can I do? What extents can I go? And one thing me and Nate talked about with this album was making each song, you know what I'm saying, like each song different. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just a natural thing because I just like sound so much.
Oh, natural.
It was very natural. I didn't go into it like I'm finna take every person that I like look up to musically and just try to match that sound. It was really about me, you know what I'm saying, drawing inspiration, but at the same time trying to cut ties from what I like in order so that I can like do my own thing. Because a lot of the stuff I did on this album was new for me.
Right.
Auto-tune was new for me. A lot of process in the way that I recorded it was new. And I feel like that just comes with just trying to find myself as J.Tone, as an artist, as what I like musically. But to be honest with you, throughout making this whole process, I mean, I know you say like who was like my inspiration throughout making it. I listened to a lot of Mobile artists.
For real?
I went back to SoundCloud and listened to like a lot of Mobile artists just to see like what like just to see, you know what I'm saying, like where were Mobile artists at, you know what I'm saying? Like with me coming into releasing my album, I wanted to know like where was the city at as like
Right.
on the music scene. What are people where I'm from, where I'm doing music at, what do they sound like?
And you trying to
Not match it, but just
kind of deviate from, like, kind of create your own lane
my
for
own
it.
thing
Yeah.
off of, you know, that, and like, you know what I'm saying, Mobile artists are good. That's one thing I have learned throughout the process of doing it, because I never listened to, like, we just being honest, but I had to, and it just all comes with, you know, like you said, the process and things you go throughout making stuff. You go through having to find yourself in a position where, okay, you gotta support, you know what I'm saying, or you gotta listen to other people. Where you from? You know what I'm saying? It's not, you can't like always go to like a high scale of musician. You know what I'm saying? Who's around you doing the same thing?
Right.
You know? So really it took a lot of myself, you know what I'm saying? And like inspirations here and there, but my primary inspiration was definitely just the energy that came from me and Nate working together. You know what I'm saying? That was really inspiration. That's really inspirational.
I was gonna say, so like, how you feel about the whole music scene of Mobile in general?
At first I didn't like it, but I like it now. At first I did.
Why you like?
I don't think I ever really came out and said this, but it's hard for me to like. Let me see. Just it's not hard for me to support. It's just hard for me to get into things when I'm so deep in depth with what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, yeah, all these artists are around me in the same city, but I'm doing my own thing too. Why would I, you know what I'm saying, venture off into all these other people while I'm trying to really do not necessarily the same thing, but I'm trying to be an artist myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to focus on this area. And I mean, that's really the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Trying to tune myself out from what everybody else was sounding like, what everybody else was doing in Mobile, and just trying to focus on J.Tone. And over time, you know what I'm saying, you just grow out of that. Me personally, anyway, because I don't want to be the artist to be a selfish artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, oh, I only mess with me. Now, like, you got all these different type of artists around you. That's good. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I had to learn. It's good artists in Mobile, Alabama. I can name them, but I won't. But Alabama artists are good. Mobile, Alabama artists are good. But you'll never know if you just so stuck on yourself. If you just so stuck on what you're doing. It's a balance. You gotta know how to balance what you're doing and also appreciate what people around you doing.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing I've learned to do. So I really do appreciate the culture of like Mobile, Alabama up and coming artists.
All right. So speaking of a Mobile, I don't know if he's a Mobile artist or not, but he was one of the features on your project, Corey J.
Yeah.
So I was listening to the project with my girl or whatever. When I first listened to it, I ain't look at the track list.
Okay.
So when I first heard Corey or whatever, I thought it was John Legend.
Man, that's what a lot of people say. I heard somebody else say that too.
Who?
Is Corey?
Yeah, who's Corey?
Corey, I grew up with Corey in church. He's always been in choir, he was in a choir in church that actually is my uncle's church, Goodwill Church Ministries in Pritchard, Alabama. Corey was always in choir, and honestly, how did we begin doing music? Corey has always done music, and see me, I would write a lot of music. Me and Corey first collaborated on my on my single Untitled.
Yeah.
I wrote that entire song, you know what I'm saying? And when we went into the studio and started working on it, you know what I'm saying, he came with his stuff, but I hit him up and I'm like, yo, I know you can sing. I wrote this song that I think that, you know what I'm saying, you'll do good on. I want you to sing this song. We went to the studio, you had Untitled. And Untitled took almost a year to write and to work on until it was done. And it took a year to release. So that's a lot of time to be working with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So in the studio, we just filling each other out as artists. It's like, okay, I have a relationship with this dude now. Like, you know what I'm saying? We have a music relationship with each other. I spent time with him. So going into my next album, I know what he can do. I know his capability because I done been in the studio with this guy.
I got the chemistry.
Exactly. So actually how that came about was I say this. Where I've been, the name of the song that guy has Corey on it, that was the best studio session that we had for the whole project. It was natural and it was heavy. A lot of it, like, I know one of the lines in that song that I was rapping was a complete freestyle that I had no idea was gonna come out of my mouth until I went in front of the microphone and just rapped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And after I finished my verse, I looked at Corey, he was sitting over, and I was like, yo, put a hook on this song. Cause it wasn't a hook on the song at first. Corey did the hook on the spot.
For real?
On the spot.
See, man, that's the thing. See, that's the thing with the album. Like I was telling Jay earlier, you I don't know, man. Kind of like describe like the studio session, like with all this going on, like, cause I don't know. It just sounded like a whole vibe, man. Like everybody just in there, just
I had like an
attentive with what's going on.
It was very productive. And one thing that I'm proud to say was once we stepped foot in the studio, it was strictly about music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like hanging out. It wasn't getting off course talking about anything other than besides the creativity and music process.
Right.
That's one thing that I can really appreciate, you know what I'm saying? It was really like corresponding dialogue between everybody. I had, of course, Nate producing, Candon Kaiser, he was the engineer. Miles, she was an artist that came from Birmingham just to record her verse. Ree, she actually goes to South, and she's a poet. She came by and she did her verse for Nobody Knows, well, her spoken word. And Corey, working with those features. Also had, a few other of my friends come. Nino and El, they sat in session just, saying for like the moral support.
Right.
And for like the ideas. And each time we went into the studio, it was really like a lock in. I remember recording Where I Am in the studio in another room. Nate is producing Where I've Been. No lights. I hate lights. But it was strictly music until we walked in, until we walked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was strictly music. Strictly music.
Gotcha. So, like, going forward, anything like to look forward to, like, in the future?
I definitely have a lot of plans. I said, like, after I dropped this album, I wanted to do a lot of independent stuff. Producing like a lot of my own content. Working with people, but initiating a lot of my own content. Like, I want to initiate J.Tone as more than an artist now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be credited for production. I want to be credited for writing. I want to be credited. I mean, I write all my own stuff anyway, but working with people now. Like a
ghostwriter, somewhat of.
Not necessarily, assistant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Assistant. And I think I'm built for that. You know what I'm saying? I write good music, but it's not even just like about the music. Like I said, like my own visual content. You know what I'm saying? Like other people's visual content. I really want to get into a part of time where I'm collaborating. This year I plan on even releasing more music. I've already started working on more music. By the end of the year, possibly another project. But I have a lot of things in mind that I want to work on. I have a lot of people that I want to work with.
Right.
And it's just a matter right now, it's just all a matter of patience because I'm still like letting this album soak in and still, you know what I'm saying, like put my album out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a process, but I really do have like an open mind for working with other people as well as doing a lot of my own work now that I'm away from the album process.
Quick question. This is kind of coming like left field, but if you could work with any artist, who would it be and why?
Local or just any artist?
Any artist. Any genre.
If I could work with any artist, oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Any artist, And I don't want to say that because I know it's like everyone has that person that they want to work with.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I will work with anybody,
Right.
but for the most part, I will work with I'm open to like, you know what I'm saying, artists, but I don't have one particular person in mind that I want to work with, honestly. Like, it just like goes back to what I said earlier. I find I'm like a complex artist. I like so much different stuff to the point to where it's like, I don't want to subject myself to like, this one person, that one person.
Yeah.
This particular style.
You don't want to be boxed in.
I don't.
I got you.
I don't. And that's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, honestly, when I look at, I can say, oh, I want to work with him, her, them. I could like all of them, like want to work with all of these people.
Right.
And typically, I'm the type of person, I want to work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? If I'm attracted to, you know what I'm saying, what they're doing. But if I just had to choose if to work with anybody, I would probably have to say the first person that comes to my mind is Kanye West. Or I would say this, a female artist.
Female artist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, like, if I really, really had to choose, I would say Miles, the girl that's on the girl that's on my album. I want to work with her.
She killed that verse, by the way, too.
Wait, one take.
One take?
One take.
Oh yeah, she killed that. She killed that jump, by the way.
I was like, no, I can't let you kill me.
What? Look, okay, so check this out. How do you feel about the generation gap when it comes to like the new old generation versus the new generation? That divide.
It's definitely division there, but I mean, based on how I see older. Are we talking art, like the music, or just in general, like
in general.
In general, I want to say it feeds off of each other.
Feeds off each other.
I really do. I really do want to say that, simply because they always say there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What goes around comes around, and it's just one of those simple things. And also, history like repeats itself. So something that somebody already did back in 90s, 80s, 70s, they done gone back 2019, things resurface. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the generational gap is, like I said, it really, I feel like it feeds off of each other. Because some of the people that are older, you know what I'm saying, they looking at younger people. And they feeding off of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can even look at it in music. You know what I'm saying? Artists that are still, you know, like, that has been around for a long time. They take, like, I don't want to use the word taking, but they're using the same type of cadence, the same type of production style as like the new age artists are.
Right. So it's like recycling.
It's in sound, but at the same time, you got the people that's on, you know what I'm saying, the younger generation sampling those people.
Right.
That are using that, like, these people's, like, you know what I'm saying, cadence and whatnot. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, it feeds off of each other. In my opinion.
Yeah, I just hate like the disrespect and stuff that's coming between, you know what I'm saying, both sides.
Yeah, it can be like that, but I just feel like that's a lack of appreciation for what's really going on. I feel like if people was to just take time to really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the artistry between both ages, instead of making it like a comparison.
Right.
What's better? What's this? What's that? Instead of like it all being tied in to one thing of creativity, one thing of understanding, one thing of being on one page. It'll make for better appreciation, if you ask me. But we just live in a time where everything is so compared to one thing. What's better than this? Even with generations, like, this time was better than this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
but at the same time, like, each time like has brought something positive to the culture.
Right.
What makes it better than this? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all bringing something.
It's all bringing something innovative.
Yeah, exactly.
And then at the same time, it's like everything is not new. So it really makes it worse if nothing really new is like under the sun. If history really does repeat itself, is it really, you know what I'm saying, like is this time really better than this time?
Right.
If, you know what I'm saying, something from that time is being taken back and we're using it now. Or if something, you know what I'm saying, that people of the older generation can look at the younger generation and take from it and they using it like at their own expense, is it really, you know what I'm saying, a bad time for each generation? If, you know what I'm saying, like I said, it's feeding off of each other. I feel like it could be neutral if it was more understanding.
I got you.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, man. Shoot. It was nice.
Yes, sir.
Sitting up here chatting with you, man.
Where I am. Out now.
Look, y'all need to go check out this album if y'all ain't checked it out already.
Yeah, man.
Where I Am is on SoundCloud right now.
Yes, sir.
And look, bro, like, usually, I don't know. I haven't really listened to mobile artists like that before, but, like, I will, you know what I'm saying, I will recommend this guy. You looking for something, you know what I'm saying, my opinion is different from, like, what we got, from, like, what's typical of the music scene in the mobile. If you looking for something different, something fresh, new, give this guy a chance. J.Tone.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh, man, no problem.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
I appreciate that, bro.
Well, yeah, y'all. Please, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how y'all feel in the comment section and stuff. But yeah, this is T and J-Tone. We out.
Where I am out now.
Do the dance when I drop my